Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to the first Lift the Rock of 2022. I am Ashley Jones with the Venture Center, and we are very excited to have the inaugural Build Academy cohort with us today. This Lift the Rock is going to focus specifically on this Build Academy cohort and to learn a little bit more about why Build Academy was started. It's an initiative with the city of Little Rock. So we just want to take a deeper dive into understanding what Build Academy is, and also take a moment towards the middle and end to meet some of the participants in this Build Academy cohort. Before we get to that, I do want to thank our sponsors, the Little Rock Regional Chamber, Frost Accounting Firm, Simmons Bank, and Wright Lindsay Jennings. These are our premier sponsors that support all of our community programming throughout the year, and they support entrepreneurs here in Little Rock and across the state. So we're excited to have them in our corner and supporting all the initiatives that we have. And some upcoming programs we want to make you aware of. February 4th, we have a VC workshop called From One to Many. This is going to be focused on growing your business. So if you're a solo entrepreneur looking to hire maybe your first few critical employees, if you're growing your team, or you want to learn how to evaluate performance based on some key performance indicators, this is the workshop for you. So you want to make sure you attend that on February 4th. Also, we have a lot of our programming is built on mentorship. Being an entrepreneur is difficult, as we all know. It's really important to have someone in your corner rooting for you and someone you can go to for advice and guidance. So Ventureship is our flagship mentorship program, open to any entrepreneur that's looking for that sort of guidance. You can apply to be a mentor or a mentee. You can find that form on our website. And all of our Build Academy participants are actually invited to participate in this as well. And every month, you've got the opportunity to meet as a group with other mentees, with mentors, and we'll do this once a month and have an opportunity for you to meet. So it's a great thing to be a part of. And if you yourself are interested in being a mentee in this program or a mentor, we encourage you to check out our website and learn more and apply there. Okay, with that being said, we want to go ahead. I'm going to turn it over first to Derrick Rainey, who is the Small Business Development Coordinator for the City of Little Rock, and also James Owen, a Policy Analyst for the City of Little Rock, and also April Hearne, who is a facilitator for this Build Academy cohort. I want to turn it over to you first, just to give everyone a sense of what Build Academy is, talking about its mission, why it started, the successes you saw within the program, and what this means for the City of Little Rock. Derrick, James, April, take it away.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna start real quick first and give that very high level overview. And before I do that, though, want to thank the Venture Center. Ashley, want to thank you for being both a great partner. But one of the fun facts is Ashley actually helped us as a judge for our pitch competition, our graduation. So want to thank you for both coaching before the pitch competition and also being a great partner throughout the Build Academy teaching sessions and process. But I want to answer kind of your first question and what Build is, because we were very intentional about figuring out, what Build is. And we actually had a document that, went back and forth as we were kind of defining our mission. And really, as I was reflecting before getting on here, I think one of the things that's really important and really cool is Build Academy in itself is a little bit of a startup, right? In that we did a lot of the normal things to build this program that you would do as a startup business. And so starting with the name, right? Build stands for Businesses United in Leadership Development. And so we wanted to be very intentional about this is a collaborative effort, and we want to get everyone in the city involved in our small business creation, because we know that that's very important, and that's how you grow an inclusive and equitable economy, is really investing in those small businesses and investing our time and hopefully our talents in these residents of Little Rock. But we also wanted to be very intentional about using data to define who our target audience is. And so we looked at some data from our business licenses filed in the city. And what we found was that, some of the zip codes, so 72204, it's kind of 12th Street, 72205, which is just above 630 over in the John Barrow, and 72209, which is kind of southwest Little Rock. Those zip codes actually produce more business licenses than other zip codes. And so we wanted to be very intentional about focusing on these places where there was business creation. But what we also found is that businesses were about a year less tenured. So the businesses didn't stay open for as long. And so, of course, those are statistics and they're broad and help you generalize. But what we wanted to do was get on the ground and really figure out, how can we support these businesses that are failing or failing to scale? And one of the things that we also wanted to do was we wanted to couple the data with some of our personal and lived experiences, and also some of the experiences that Derrick had and that our staff had in administering our COVID relief loan. And so one of the things that we found when we administered those is that we set a very low bar at the city to get those relief grants. And it was, you had to have a business license with the city, you had to have you had to be registered with the state, and you had to have a year of tax returns. There were a lot of people, and props to Derrick and some other members of our team for actually going out and making sure that people had those, and coaching people how to get some of those basic business essential documents. But we saw a need. And so, like a good startup, again, we wanted to help meet that need. And so Build is really the front door to entrepreneurship in Little Rock. And so we wanted to teach some of those skills and some of those essential techniques and knowledge that you need to be a successful business. And so we were very intentional about that mission. Also want to give a shout out to April Hearne, who was our facilitator and taught the first half of every session and was really our go-to expert for all things entrepreneurship. So want to give a shout out to her. I know she's on here as well. And so just wanted to say, we coupled data and our experiences administering those COVID relief grants to kind of create a target audience and a program that met the need of being the front door to entrepreneurship in Little Rock. So like a good startup, we found a problem and we tried to engineer a solution, and want to give a shout out to all the participants. We started with 13 and graduated all 13. And so shout out to them for their hard work. But with that, I want to hand it off to Derrick to talk about more of the curriculum and kind of what is Build from a 10-foot level.
Thank you, James. Appreciate it. And he said it very eloquently and very specifically, because we were very intentional about everything that we were trying to do to meet the needs of small businesses. And with Build Academy, it is a 12-week program that looks at business essentials. And our participants, or our graduates, can definitely say, okay, well, what is essential to doing business can be a lot. It can be overwhelming. So we try to break it down as much as possible to just be that front door, to be the introduction to business operations and business management. So we looked at marketing, your market analysis. You have to look at your target audiences. You have to look at financing, your operations, your management, and then also looking at the big picture. What is your business plan? How can you become bankable? That was our main goal. How do we develop a preliminary business plan, as well as how do we become bankable, or at least start becoming bankable, if not already. And then we had strategic partnerships. We have various sponsors who invested their time as well as their dollars and their talent and treasure into making sure that the Build Academy was successful. And it ended in a graduation and a pitch competition. And with that, and I'll kind of say this part because the pitch competition and the graduation was the culmination of 12 weeks. But we also had 70 something plus applications for the first class. And we knew that we couldn't have everyone in the first class. So we actually have pathways. So I'll talk about the graduation, which then highlighted our businesses, and the pitch competition, which then allowed them to be able to talk about their business, which they're going to do in a few minutes. So each person who's represented today will just share a little bit about their business. But with there being an influx of applications, we also had to say, well, the city of Little Rock can't just say we only served or can serve 13 residents. So what we did is we created these pathways which fit people where they are, and not to push people too far. So one of the things that Build Prep represents is kind of the introduction to the introduction, getting people prepared for Build Academy, getting people prepared for the topics that we're going to discuss, and then also just engaging people throughout the year. The next part that we had was a savings initiative, which looks at residents, but it looks at it from a business perspective, that we're trying to help people develop bankability. So the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, they have provided some tools that help people to do savings in a really tangible way. We also partnered with Goldman Sachs and the 10X Business initiative, which looks at another higher level of business operations. And then we partnered with the Arkansas Small Business Technology Development Center, ASBTDC, which then helps further along business plans as well as bankability. So we were really excited. I mean, we're still on a high and still on cloud nine for our graduates, and looking forward to our next cohort that will start. The applications will go live this month, and then the next class should hopefully start in March, which will then do our second class. And we even have another pilot that we're looking into for our Spanish-speaking community. So the city of Little Rock is being not only intentional, but we're putting it out there. We're trying to do our very best to meet our residents where they are and to get them the resources that they need. April, if you would just share just a little bit about your experience as a practitioner, and then dealing with the curriculum, and then we'll get to our introductions of our class.
Hi. So I joined the group, I guess it was May of last year, April of last year, maybe, as the applicants were coming in, and we were meeting to discuss and this, that, and the other. And during that time before class started, I actually wrote a small workbook for everyone to get a copy of. And the point was, and I'm going back to everybody saying something intentional, the organization of the entire course itself kind of followed the path of a business plan. And so this week we're going to talk about this. And not only are we learning about it more, or answering questions or asking questions of ourselves or our businesses and where we want to go, but then also the guest speaker comes in to also show how that really works in real life, or how they did it, or something like that. So there was kind of this practical application part of it. And then there was a expert in the industry that's been doing it and teaching us how it looks from their end. And so the organization was actually pretty intentional that way. And it just kind of kept the flow the whole 12 weeks that we were together. And it actually worked really well. So I'm really proud of everybody. I've been doing this entrepreneurship education for, I think, 12 years now. And it was really fun to kind of get in every Thursday evening and learn more about all of these individual businesses, everyone wanting to take the next step, whatever that meant for them, and grow and look at the kind of the big picture of how economic development is working in all of these areas. And so it was actually a really great group. And I think we all learned a lot from each other, if I'm being honest with you. So I'm actually going to say thank you to everybody for working so hard. And I'll stop there because I want y'all to talk about your businesses, not me talk about me.
Appreciate it, April. So at this time, and I do want to share that the Build Academy was held for this first class at UA Little Rock. So we were very grateful for that opportunity to be there. But the further classes will be at the Willie Hinton Neighborhood Resource Center, which is being newly renovated to provide a fresh space for the 12th Street corridor south of 630. So that was the intentional part of it as well with the Build Academy. At this time, we're going to go through and introduce and welcome some of our Build Academy graduates who are on the call. And you don't have to do the 2 minutes, not this time. We're just going to share a little bit about yourself and then just a brief description of your business. Remember, we're always pitching, so therefore, it's just a shorter pitch this time. So we are going to start with Ms. Deborah Alexander to go first. I know she loves me for it.
Thank you, Derrick, for not saying that there is a 2-minute limit, because I don't do well with that. Okay. I'm Deborah Alexander, and the name of my business is Clovert Alexander Incorporated. My business is a wholesale resale distributor of goods and products, and recently a service. I started the business because I know someone else who does it. And not only that, I had retired. I had time at home. I wanted to do something that would have value and that I could do well and give something to someone that they needed, and then exactly have something in return as well. Of course, we all look for monetary gain. But of course, everything is not easy. Even though I had been in the business world, and even though I had been exposed to things, there were still things that I needed to know. And I learned a lot from our mentors. April and Derrick had some one-on-ones with me that helped tremendously. And I can't stress how important it is to follow the guidance and the things that I learned, because preparation really does help. The one thing that I leave for all of you who are listening is that you should not get frustrated or give up because of rejection or delay, because those things will come. They don't define you, and they don't define the worth of your business. You can and you will succeed if you continue to press on and persevere. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Ms. Deborah. So we really appreciate it. I know we've been through, like you said, a lot of one-on-ones, and I appreciate Ms. Deborah's perseverance through this process, and she led through. So thank you. What we're going to do, we're going to go to each business. You're going to give the introduction of yourself and then just a brief description of the business. We do have some questions that we're all going to kind of go through. So I just want to make sure we have enough time. So Miss Erica Scott, if you will come forward, please.
Thank you, Derrick. And I just want to give a shout out to April and James and Ashley and everyone else that mentored us through this process. My name is Erica Scott. I'm the owner and operator of the Perfect Affair Party Rental and Sales Event Company. And I just want to kind of share just a little bit of brief background about how I got started. I started out doing birthday parties and for my family members and then different friends. They liked my work. They shared my work with other people by word of mouth. And then I started getting all these invites for, can you do this for me? Can you do this? So I ended up doing class reunions and family reunions and all sorts of parties. So I went dormant for a while. And that's when I decided I got all this equipment, all of these resources that's just sitting there and I'm not doing anything with it. So when I saw the Build Academy advertisement on Facebook about, hey, we got this cohort that's getting ready to start and it's for aspiring entrepreneurs, I had the dream, I had the basis, I did not have the know-how, and I needed the resources to get me going. That's where Build came in for me, and it played a major part in my development. I'm still under development, but I have learned so much through Build. I learned how to market. I learned about my targeted audience and who do I want to target my business to. So I'm very fortunate to have been chosen to be a part of Bill. And again, I am the owner and operator of the Perfect Affair. If you need anything, I can help. Then by all means, that's my pitch, Derrick.
Thank you, Erica. Next, we're going to go to Dr. Jennifer Nelson.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Jennifer Nelson, and I'm the owner of Residence 1114. I am a 15-year educator and 6-year foster parent. So Residence 1114, we provide residential housing to sibling groups in foster care. And our hope is to create a safe space for children to be loved and supported, and just basically have a positive impact on those children that come into foster care.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. Next, we're going to go to Alicia Adams. Hey, Alicia, I think you're on mute. Not yet. I think it's trying to connect to the audio. While we're getting that together, Alicia, we'll come back to you. Let's go to Sandra Thomas.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Derrick. Hey, everyone. My name is Sandra Thomas, and I am the creator and designer of the So Sandra brand, where I design luxurious shoes for ladies. And I also design business apparel for aspiring and already established business owners. I started the shoes because I could not find shoes that represented women like myself who are ever evolving, always changing, very stylish and trendy. So I wanted to be able to step out and do that. And it's been going great for me so far. And with the Build Academy, I'm very appreciative of it and being a part of it because I have met some amazing women and men as well. And it definitely helps us to, get to the next level and just teaching each other different things that we may not know of. So I'm very grateful of the Build Academy.
Thank you,
It was
Sandra.
choppy.
Yeah, just a little bit, but I think we heard it towards the end. I think we're good. Next, we're going to bring Rania Bird up.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rania Bird, and I'm the owner of Fiber Junkie LLC. I sell hand-dyed luxury yarns and homemade apparel.
All right. Thank you, Rania. And next, we're going to have Miss Fakisha Long. Keisha, I think you're on mute if you're talking to us.
I was, yeah. Yeah, so can you hear me? Because this building is pretty bad. So is it choppy?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
So I am Keisha Long, the owner of Extreme Clean Janitorial and Cleaning Services. We provide superior janitorial, cleaning, and sanitizing services in Little Rock and surrounding areas.
All right, appreciate it, Keisha. Alicia, I think you're back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I fixed it. So, hi everybody, good to see you all. My name is Alicia Adams Talbert. I am the owner of Talbert Lawn Services. We are a landscaping and groundskeeping company here in Little Rock. We service the Little Rock area and surrounding counties, and we offer second chance employment to people who have had a felony background.
All right, thank you, Alicia. And last but not least, on this particular call, we have Nicole Perkins of Nicole Perkins Insurance.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nicole Perkins, aka the Insurance Lady, and I sell health insurance. And this year, my main focus is life insurance, and I love insurance. So, any question, I know I can answer it for you. If I don't know it, I'll find somebody. Thanks.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Nicole. And I think, okay, LaJoy is on now. Is that correct? Hey, Ashley, is she in the participants or?
Yep, she's just been added.
Oh, okay, there we go. Hey, LaJoy, just we're giving introductions. If you just state who you are and then what your business is.
All righty. Oh, just go ahead. No.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Hi, my name is LaJoy Person. The name of my business is called Gifts of Joy and Beyond. I am your one-stop shop specializing in the latest trends in head clothing, apparel, equipment, electronics, bedding, jewelry, hair and makeup, customizations, and we deliver. We have your everyday needs, providing high quality retail goods for diverse family that you can afford. And I love what I do. That's it. Gifts of joy.
All right. We appreciate it. Everyone who is represented here for the Build Academy. We did have 13 total, but we're glad to have our graduates representing not only the city of Little Rock, but their businesses in the area. We're going to get to just a little bit of panel discussion with our graduates, and it's kind of a series of questions that we'll ask. And Ashley, are we still good for each one?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So each business, and we're kind of going the same order if possible, just to keep it consistent. Why did you choose to start your business? We'll start with you, Ms. Deborah.
Okay, I said some of that briefly in the introduction. I'm sorry if I was.
No, you're good.
Okay. I chose to start the business because I wanted to do something that would add value to me and to the customer, something that would make me feel that I was giving them something that they needed, and it would actually make me have a positive impact on those who I serve, because I provide a service. Even though I'm acquiring goods and products, I'm still serving those customers, and I look at them as someone who's worthy of my best.
Thank you, Ms. Deborah. If we go to Erica.
Okay, my passion for decorating started, as I stated earlier, by word of mouth, just from doing birthday parties, and then it blossomed into class reunion parties and other fields of sort. But I have a love and a passion for decorating, and I enjoy mostly uplifting spirits in a celebratory way. And that's pretty much where my love and passion comes from, putting a smile on people's faces as they celebrate and make memories with their loved ones.
Awesome. Dr. Nelson, I'm gonna try to go in the same order. I may not be able to because it keeps switching around.
So I chose to start Residency 1114 because of my passion for kids. And like I said, I've been a foster parent for 6 years. And so seeing the effect that it had on the kids being separated from their siblings, not being able to see their brothers and sisters on a consistent basis, just made me want to be able to do something to kind of alleviate that.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. Next one, go to Rania.
Hi, I'm muted. Okay. I started the business because fiber arts has been a passion of mine since I was a little girl. And I've seen the industry kind of grow, and it's been a dream of mine to launch that. And I've had so much support from friends, from Build, and even complete strangers. So I finally just stepped out and said, I'm going to do this.
All right. Thank you, Rania. Alicia.
So I started the business because my husband could not get a job. He has a felony background record. It's 20 years old, and he still couldn't get a job. We have 60,000 people being released from federal prisons from a 2018 act called the First Step. And they're coming home and they don't have a job. And I want to be able to provide them one.
Thank you, Alicia. Powerful work here. Powerful. Let's go to Sandra.
Okay, I switched devices, so hopefully this will help. I started my business because I have always had a passion for fashion. At the age of 7, my mom taught me how to sew, and it was just something that was just instilled in me and that I enjoyed doing. And just being able to see something start just from a sketch or from just some fabric and, you know, transition it into a pair of shoes or clothing and things like that. And I always just felt like, you know, fashion is an art and it's just a way to be able to express yourself. And I can always express myself through fashion. So I just saw that the shoe industry was changing and there weren't shoes out there, you know, for women like myself. And so I wanted to be able to step out on that and do that and to design shoes.
Thank you, Sandra. Keisha, let's go to you.
Okay. So I started Extreme Clean because I lost my job in 2020, like a lot of people did, you know, when COVID hit. And instead of looking at it, I changed my perspective because it was depressing. But at some point, I realized I had an opportunity. And so I wanted to be part of the solution and have something that would create some generational wealth for the family. And so was born Extreme Clean. And that's pretty much where we are now.
Thank you, Keisha. Let's go to Nicole.
I started the business. I started insurance because I found it very interesting, but I started the business because while being in insurance, it was the relationships and the fact that I can educate people on what they're buying. There are many times we buy insurance policies, but we know nothing about them. So I want to be the one to tell you, okay, this is why you have it. This is why you need it. This is what this means. And just the relationships. I enjoy the relationships that I've developed along the way.
And LaJoy, if you could answer, why'd you start this business? You're muted.
Okay, hi. Yes, I started this business because just wanted to do something for myself. I was always working for other jobs, people relation, making sales, building them up, but I was still, pockets were still low, you know. So I was like, why not do it for myself and make my own money and teach and show other people they can do it too. And I just love making people smile and happy and getting what they want is exciting and fun. So I love it.
I'm gonna keep it there with you, LaJoy, and then kind of go backwards. Could you share with us what are some challenges and successes that you've experienced as an entrepreneur?
Ooh, the challenges it is, you know, you have an idea to do something, but it's so much more you have to do to build around it for stability. So when you fall, you won't fall. You'll have a foundation where you can rebuild and still grow from, because you have to do things, learn the right way of doing things. And so I'm learning those ways as far as paperwork, taxes, you know, just learning how to those are the challenges of learning how to do everything, even for the banks, learning to pitch and build a business plan, you know, all of those are challenges, but they're good challenges. It's not a bad thing. It's something that you need to know, so you won't be the one with the closing sign. on your, your business, you'll,
Absolutely. That's good, Joy. Appreciate it. Let's go to you, Nikki.
The challenges is probably the same thing as that business plan. I'm still kind of like stuck on page 3, but it's not bad because I know the steps to get it done. So that's been the challenges. I think the good thing is this past season was like my best Medicare season ever. So going through Medicare season, open enrollment, and Build Academy. So it's just a matter of just staying focused and staying on the grind and know that everything that I've learned, I can take that money and put back into my business. So it's coming along. It's getting there.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nikki. Let's go to Keisha.
Oh, am I? Okay, so I guess for me, it was overcoming the vast amount of not knowings. You don't know what you don't know until you don't know it, until you find out. And so overcoming the didn't knows was a huge challenge for me. And then knowing where to locate, specific resources and that kind of thing. And so in that regard, the didn't knows were the challenges, but getting the answers, getting the mentorship and the advice from the Build Academy was definitely a success.
Thank you, Keisha. Let's go to you, Alicia.
So some of the challenges that I've had is that I'm trying to scale my business at a point where we're in a pandemic. So I've got opportunities to actually get the workload, but like I said, we're in a pandemic and nobody really wants to work right now, except for me. But I don't see that as a challenge. I see it as an opportunity to show people where I came from. I don't have a mom, I don't have a dad. My husband doesn't either. We have 2 kids that we're raising on our own. We've bought our house, we paid off all our equipment, and we want other people to know that even though we may have not had a background or upbringing of people with regular lives or regular parents that are able to afford them those opportunities, you can still do it. It is possible. I'm living proof that a blessing delayed is not a blessing denied.
That's awesome. I mean, very powerful, Alicia. Thank you. Let's go to you, Jennifer.
All right. 2 of the challenges that I faced was the first one, having an idea but not knowing where to start to work on it. And then the second one, which was the major, was time management. Trying to find a balance from working my 9 to 5 and then working on entrepreneurship as well. And then I had some successes. The first one was connections, meeting people. Through Build, we had those speakers. And so one of our speakers was Shameen with Encore Bank. And so this week I secured funding for Residence 1114. I also met some people that have agreed to do my furnishing, like my beds, furniture, all of that for the residents. And then the final success, which is a personal one, is the joy of knowing that I am making a difference.
Wow, and that's what Bill represents. There you go. That's amazing. Let's go to you, Rania.
That is so awesome. Congratulations. For me, one of the challenges is managing the budgeting or financial portion of, when I'm looking at how much do I need to produce to meet my sales goal? How do I determine my sales goals? And then marketing. How do I place my product so that my ideal customer can find me? And I'm gotten lots of help with that from Build and the Arkansas Small Business Technology Development Center.
Thank you, Rania. Let's go to Erica.
I don't want to cheat and say anything different than what has already been said, but I share a lot of the same challenges that my cohorts share in that I'm in a pandemic, and because of the nature of my business, I find it difficult to be able to really have the gatherings that I need to be able to host major events. Time management is an issue for me because I do work multiple jobs. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm going to get where I need to be because you all have equipped me with the tools that I need to go forward. And I have the know-how. So I will say that my business is delayed. It's not denied.
I'm hearing that often. And we can also say that it is not denied. Y'all are working and you're working diligently, and it just takes some time. So I'm really proud of that for everyone. Okay, so who did I miss? Did I get you, Sandra? Okay, good. And then I think it's that.
My challenges are like Erica said, pretty much like everyone else's. It's hard for me because I'm, just trying to scale my business and reach a broader audience. I'm having to do everything, whether it's designing, sketching, speaking to my vendors, creating my business cards, my marketing, running my website. I'm just having to do it all. But one thing that I can say that has definitely come out of Build Academy, that everyone is just a phone call away, my cohorts and Derrick and April and everyone. So I know that if I feel like I can't get it or I need some type of direction, I know that I can, either call or email them. And one thing about it, they're always there and they're always attentive and there to assist. So I don't have that problem there.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.
And yeah, that call and that text message, it will get answered. I think I have Miss Deborah next. Is that correct?
I guess I can say ditto, because I'm just like everybody else with, some of the same challenges. I have had, my major issue has been getting in the pipeline, knowing the key resources and the key people. Whereas I do the resale and distribution, I am on government websites, and I have registered with all of with the states and the federal government, SAM and all of those things, in the cities and the counties and different industries in the government. It's getting people out of the mode of this is the way I've always done it, and realizing that they can save money if they do something differently. If they will, I've had someone say, well, I just go to Office Depot. And I say, well, give me an example of what you get from Office Depot. And when I got the example, I said, well, I can get that cheaper. So and they never realized that they had options or opportunities that were different from what they had experienced. So that has been a challenge, getting in that pipeline, getting through that door and having those connections and introductions. Now, I have, through Build, been introduced to people with whom I probably would not have had contact before. So that has been one of the opportunities and advantages that I've had. Success, I have been able to get bids that were better than companies that were larger than I. So that has been a success. I've also been thankful for the small things, even the things that I made $25 on, because they were entryways to get to larger things in the future. So don't look at the size of a job or of the thing that's there. I learned how to celebrate the small victories, and that has been my encouragement. So.
Thank you, Ms. Deborah. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody on this particular question. Anyone? Okay, I think I got everybody who's on. So the last part that we'll have, and this is in 30 seconds or less, okay? what advice would you give to an aspiring entrepreneur in preparation for launching their business or going through Build Academy? And we're just gonna stay with you, Ms. Deborah. You kind of mentioned a little bit of it, and I want to recap want you to recap what you said earlier, if you have something else to add.
Don't give up. Success comes through continual commitment and through continual perseverance. It's not something that comes in one day. And rejection, I have learned, rejection does not make me, it does not stop me, and I will get stronger because of it. I think all of us have been rejected. So we just keep on. This door doesn't work, let's go to the next one. So that's
Thank you. And that also just reminds me that we kind of talked about that you are one yes away from success. So that's amazing. Let's go to Rania.
I'd say find a good support network of people who can be impartial and bring their perspective to your journey. So many of my Build classmates have lots of skills, and I can reach out and they can give me tips or encouragement, and we've managed to stay connected. So I don't feel like there's a day where I can't reach out to Nicole and say, hey, Nicole, I'm having a hard time with XYZ, and she wouldn't help me. So support is really crucial to your entrepreneurial journey.
Amazing, Rania. Thank you. Let's go to Erica.
I would encourage the new Build participants to stay attached to the resources that has been imparted on you. It's very vital to the growth of your business. And I'm so thankful for the resources that has been granted to us, Venture for one. Those are very vital. And I just believe that everything that comes easy is not worth having. Sometimes it comes with a challenge, and when you work hard at it, you own it. It's yours, and can't nobody take it away from you.
Thank you, Erica. Well said. Keisha.
Hey, did I miss what did you learn from Build Academy? I'm here dealing with Little Rock residents right now. So did I miss that question?
This one is combined as what advice would you give to an inspiring entrepreneur and based on what you've learned in Build Academy?
Ditto to what everyone has said so far, but I guess for me is if you want to be successful, you watch and follow and do what you see the successful people doing. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and take every advice that's given to you and see what applies and what doesn't. You can't go wrong trying.
Wow. Yes, absolutely. Sandra, what would you like to add?
I would just say, don't give up. Do your homework, pay attention to your competition, and just ask questions. Don't be afraid. They say no, all they can say is no. I mean, I've slid in many DMs, looking at influencers and everything. And, I just don't give up. I just keep going. And then you can see the end results, because then you can see people in your product.
This is true. Let's go to Jennifer.
I have two pieces of advice. The first one would be get an attorney from the very beginning. That is vital. And the second thing would be don't be afraid to ask for help, assistance, delegate, or pay someone to assist. One of the resources that we got from the Build Academy is very powerful. It's the who, not how. And it stresses this. And that would be my advice. Definitely get this and read it.
That just made my heart happy, y'all. LaJoy, what would you like to add there? Yes, who, not how. Let's go. There you
unmuted.
go, Joy. Yeah.
I just would like to say, definitely don't give up. Be a doer, and God will open up doors for you that you you can't even imagine. You just have to do. You have to do and put in the work, study, ask questions, all the things that everyone is saying, and take in what the little things that people are saying to you. Don't have a closed ear to anyone, because you never know what you may get out of it. And so at the end of the day, just keep doing and know God, he will open up doors for you, because he gave you the vision. So people might not understand what you're doing and where you're going. And might not understand your plan, but keep going on what your heart tell you to do, and they will see at the end. That's it.
Thank you, Joy. We're gonna go to Nikki.
I mean, everybody's pretty much said everything that I was gonna say. But one thing I learned in sales is that no doesn't necessarily mean no. It means that maybe no right now. And one of my big successes in being a salesperson is, okay, they said no in January. Let me call them back in March, April, and see if they changed their mind. So my thing is, I don't, it's the follow up and staying connected and just not giving up. When I tell people all the time, Burger King never asked McDonald's if they can open. So just because someone has a business exactly like yours doesn't mean your business is any less or theirs is any greater. Just do your thing, and you'll come out doing what you want to do and successful, so thank y'all.
Oh, I'm here for it all. She understood the assignment. Yes. Okay. And bringing it home, Alicia.
Okay, so I've only got a couple things, and I got this from my grandma. You got to stay down until you come up, okay? And it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing around you. You got to know that what you're doing is right for you, and it will take you where you need to go. And like they said, God will open up doors that you never imagined. Literally, I've never imagined that I would be a multiple business owner with multiple jobs, like regular jobs, and raising kids and a family. It's beyond my wildest dream, and I got to stay there.
Thank you, everyone who has shared today. We are going to open it up for a couple of questions from our audience. And is that how we're going to do this, Ashley?
Yeah, let's go ahead. We do have a couple of minutes before we wrap up. Anybody got any questions? I've been watching the chat. It's just full of compliments and praise. My cheeks hurt. I've been smiling for the last hour. I am so impressed with all of you, every one of you as a Build Academy graduate. And also kudos to Derrick and James and Kendra and April and everyone that made this happen. You all have done a phenomenal job in facilitating this and growing entrepreneurship here in the city of Little Rock. It is just, I don't know how you can leave this session and not feel inspired. This is a fantastic way to end the week. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to pose those in the chat or Q&A or raise your hand. We can unmute you. So we'll save room for that. But other than that, has anybody got a question? Thought I heard something. Let's see. Is that Miss Tosha on the attendee side? You can unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm here. Uh-oh, I don't know how to do this part.
Feel free to ask a question.
Okay, I want to know, first of all, I want to thank you all. Y'all have said some very encouraging and inspiring words, but I also want to know, is it a way to contact, is it going to be a follow-up like after this Zoom to where we can contact you all to kind of like network with each other, like with our businesses?
I would say yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely. Everybody's here to do business with everybody. It's the business model is what Build really represents. Is what it stands for. Businesses United in Leadership Development. The Small Business Development Office for the City of Little Rock is ready to serve and partner. And then also our businesses, our graduates have allowed for us to be able to share contacts as necessary because it is about connecting businesses with each other. I'm actually putting my contact information in the chat right now to everyone. And then you'll be able to have that. And that's a Small Business Development Office. And we look forward to working with you.
Absolutely. Thanks for doing that, Derrick. And if all the participants are okay, I'm happy to drop everyone's email addresses in the chat if you're comfortable with that. That way, if there's anybody on the attendee side that wants to get in touch with you, you can look there and get their information. And again, like I said, the word inspiration comes to mind. And Miss Deborah said this is a word that I wrote down to kind of describe this whole session. It was perseverance. A lot of you talked about challenges, but you didn't refer to them as challenges. You referred to them as opportunities. And that's the kind of mindset you've got to have as an entrepreneur, to push through and persevere. And so I love that so much that it was mentioned among several of the graduates.
Looks like Sarita Aguilar said, I wanted to ask all who have gone through the program how the businesses were impacted by the experience in the program. Anyone who wants to answer that?
I can reiterate how my business is impacted. Like I said, we had multiple business owners come and share and provide contact information and resources. And so, like I said, I did secure funding this week with Encore Bank, and also furnished furniture for the house. And so that's something that happened for me. But on a personal note, I will say just building the confidence to know that I am capable. I think that for me, that was the biggest thing.
I would say entree into the connections that we need for business support. All the speakers, especially April, really shared a lot of important knowledge. And by following the information and the advice we got, I've been able to secure 2 trunk shows, which allows me to showcase my yarn and have exposure for 2 weeks to my ideal customer, and have some cross marketing done for my yarn. But I wouldn't have been able to do that or even know how to go about it unless I had been in Build and had the resources available that Build provided.
Awesome. I think that there is another question in there. When does the next cohort for applications open? And that will be in this month. It should launch by the end of this month. And those applications will probably run for 3 to 4 weeks in February. We are looking to start the next cohort in March. Usually that's a one day a week commitment, but we do have a round of review that has to happen. So just knowing that we're shooting for March and it will end in May, end of May, beginning of June for this particular cohort, for cohort 2. And there are Build prep activities happen already. So we actually have some engagements for February and March. So you don't have to wait until the class starts to engage with the City of Little Rock and the Build Academy.
Awesome. So we'll stay tuned to that. Build Academy has a Facebook page. They've got a website. So stay tuned to all that, all the latest and greatest, so you can make sure to apply and share that with anyone that you know that would be a fantastic participant. for the Build Academy. I want to go ahead and wrap things up. We are out of time. Thank you again, Derrick, as my co-host and confidant. Thank you for doing this with me and helping moderate. You did a fantastic job. Also, James, thank you so much for helping coordinate and be a part of this as well. And April for facilitating this group. And Kendra, who wasn't able to make it. She's been awesome. Mayor Frank Stott, who's a part of this as well. Thank you to all our Build Academy graduates. You did a lovely job with your pitch and talking about how Build Academy, impacted your business and yourselves personally. And we look forward to the continued success that we all know you're going to have. So with that, we're going to round out today and thank our sponsors one last time: the Little Rock Regional Chamber, Frost Accounting Firm, Simmons Bank, Wright Lindsay Jennings. Congratulations, guys. You did it. And we'll see everyone again soon. Bye.